you should have more. Like maybe you should like, I mean, maybe in a couple of weeks we should issue like a series of 10 new backgrounds just to, you know, to put even more mosaic. Okay, fine. So we are going to discuss the PRD, acronym for press release distribution. As you know, we had a meeting a few weeks ago, and several colleagues thought that it would be a good idea to have another meeting dedicated to press release distribution. So first of all, to start, I want to share a few figures. In 2023, so last year, 340 clients, 340 corporations, international organizations, NGOs, sport organizations have used our press release distribution service. 340. That's well, that's a lot of clients, from Coca-Cola to Netflix to TikTok, from the African Development Bank to the Islamic Development Bank, and a lot of others, which I'm sure you know, which are on a regular basis relying on APU Group to distribute their press releases across the continent. So again, in 2023, we had 340 organizations which used our press release distribution service. Another figure is that the number of paying press releases, so the number of press releases distributed for our paying customers, has grown by 25% per year, each year since 2017. So I will rephrase that. If you look at the number of press releases we are distributing for our clients, and if you look at that figure since 2017, each year you have a 25% growth of the number of press releases we are distributing. Each year, 25%, from 2017 to 2023. So those figures, I think, are highlighting the fact that we are talking about a service which is maybe not perfect, but what is perfect? But which is increasingly used by our clients. And again, I used to say a long time ago, our clients have no humor. And what I meant by that is that our clients are the Islamic Development Bank, are the International Criminal Court, are the African Development Bank, are DHL, Orange, TikTok, etc., etc. I mean, they will not use our service. They will not hesitate to stop using our service if they were not happy with our service. So I wanted to start with that to remind everyone that this is a service we are talking about. We are talking about a service which is used by 340 big organizations across the world, some of the largest in the world. And this is a service which, if you look at its growth in volume from 2017, is growing 25% a year. So we're distributing 25% more press release each year since 2017. I really wanted to remind everyone this. That's the service we're talking about. Now, another thing is a reminder is that many of you are coming from other companies, important companies. Some of you work for some of the biggest companies in the world, previous experience in the US, in Canada, or in your country for some of the largest public relation agencies, headquartered in New York and London, etc., etc. So I don't know how many of you actually had the opportunity in their professional life to interact with a founder. And I don't know if you appreciate what is a founder and what that means in that context. So I will establish that for you. I, Nicolas Pompigne-Mognard, I built APU Group press release distribution service. I never went to a school where they explained to me how to build a press release distribution service. I was a former journalist. I studied law. And so I started completely from scratch. And I didn't look at what the other players in the industry were doing. I just had two things in mind, is that I was considering the point of view of the clients. We wanted to have their press release disseminated the largest, widely as possible. And I was considering the point of view of a journalist, which I knew because I was a journalist. And so I built my stuff on my own without any blueprint. One of the things I meant by that is that I know PRD industry and I know PRD at APO Group very well. Again, I built it. I know it intimately. And so by building what is today the largest, if not the only, I actually think it's the only continental Pan-African press release distribution service in Africa, which I created and own for 17 years. I know a thing or two about what is press release distribution, not only at APO Group, but as an industry globally. I spoke quite regularly with some senior executives of the largest press release distribution service in the world, namely Business Wire, PR Newswire. I spoke to the only equivalent to APO Group in terms of press release distribution, which is Media Outreach, which is a continental press release distribution service just like us, which is focusing on Asia. I spoke to the founder of that press release distribution service. So I'm regularly interacting with people which are very familiar with the niche industry, which is the press release distribution industry. So I know that industry quite well. And so again, you are not talking to only senior executive in a company which has been recently appointed and which is coming from another industry, etc., etc. I built that thing, and so I know that thing. So let me try to explain a few things. First of all, let's discuss about what is press release distribution and what is the press release distribution industry globally, at a global level. And so let's look at who are the global players of the press release distribution industry today. As we speak, the leading press release distribution service globally is called Business Wire. The second will be PR Newswire, which has been acquired by a media monitoring company called Cision a few years ago. And then you have smaller players like Globe Newswire, MarketWire, and then you have a myriad of very, very small players. But the big fish, the Rolls-Royce and Bentley and Ferrari of press distribution in the world are Business Wire, PR Newswire. Those are the two big players. Now let's look at their model and how they are operating on what they base their model really. Their model is based on what is referred to as duplicate content. And so what that means is that their job, their function is that you give them money, actually quite little money compared to what you will have to pay APO Group. So if you want to distribute a press release in the US, the entire US market with Business Wire, it will cost you as little as $300 or $400. And so what those players will guarantee you with that is that they will post your press release verbatim, so copy pasted, on 100, 200, 300 websites. And that's mostly it. That's mostly what they do and what they guarantee. And so they have a model where you distribute your press release, and within only a couple of hours, you will receive what they call a visibility report, which will basically list all the links and you will see your press release copied, copy-paste verbatim on several websites. So it is quite important that you understand two things. It's important that you understand what is duplicate content in terms of technological phenomenon. I will explain that to you. And it is also important that you understand that the largest players in the industry globally are relying at 99% on duplicated content. What they are selling is actually duplicated content. You are paying them just to have your press release copy pasted on 200, 300 websites. So duplicate content is the idea that by a push of a button, you will have the exact same text published on 50, 100, 200 websites simultaneously. And that's one of the things we do at APO Group. Duplicated content is part of our distribution channel, but it's not the only one. It's not in fact the main one. It's not where we see the value. It's not where we are pushing, unlike the players I just mentioned, which consider that it is their bread and butter, that's what they do, and it is 98% of their reach, if you want. So duplicated content means that you push the button and the exact same combination of character of text, so the copy-paste of your press release, will appear on 100, 200, 300 websites. Now, as I explained earlier, as we all know, the main point of entry on the internet these days is Google. Everyone, or I don't know, there are figures about that, but 90% of people which are browsing on the internet are entering through the entry point, which is Google. And I just explained to you what is duplicate content. I just explained to you that duplicate content means that I can write a press release today. I will call it for instance, Mercedes launch a new car in Germany. That will be the headline of my press release. Mercedes launch new car in Germany to be the headline. I will go to Business Wire, PR Newswire, and I will ask them to do what they do best, which is to post that headline and the press release it goes with it on 300 websites, and to do that within 5 minutes. If nothing was done by Google, what that means is that for a certain amount of time, anyone browsing on Google the keywords car and Germany, or Mercedes and Germany, or Mercedes and car, will end up with, as a result of Google, will end up with, I don't know, 3-4 pages of results with exactly the same press release, with exactly the same text. I think we can all understand that. Again, on one hand, you have a player like Business Wire, PR Newswire, which craft skill is to be able to display simultaneously within 5 minutes the exact same text on a couple of hundred of websites. On another hand, you have someone, you, me, anyone, browsing on the internet using keywords on Google, and if nothing is done, if Business Wire just distributed a press release which headline is Mercedes just launched a new car in Germany, me in India, me in Russia, me in Brazil, me wherever in the world, using Google and browsing car Germany or launch car or whatever sort of combination of keyword in relation with that headline, well then, if nothing was done by Google, I will have, as a result of my Google search, 3 pages of that press release. Obviously, no one wants that, and it is why Google created something called the Panda algorithm. Panda, like the animal, the Panda algorithm, and the mission, the function of the Panda algorithm is to penalize duplicate content. So what's the Panda algorithm does is that it detects that, a smart fellow is trying to post the exact same text on 300 websites within 5 minutes. Me, Google, I detect that. I do not want my user to have 5 pages of that thing. So I'm going to identify all the websites which published that specific story, all the unique URL which are publishing that story, and I'm going to penalize them, which means I'm going to put them way below in the ranking. I'm going to put them on page 3, page 4 of the search, of the search results. So it's a Panda algorithm. It is here to address duplicate content, and the point is to penalize duplicate content. So it's quite important to understand how this works, because, for instance, that explains why we may have posted our clients' press release on 300 websites, but on Google, with a basic normal search, you will find only 5 or 10 results. That's just how this works. But the content is posted on all the other websites and visible by people which are currently browsing on those websites. It's also important to understand that news websites do not want to host duplicate content, because, as you understood, it will penalize the ranking of their overall website. So if you host duplicate content on your website, Google will actually degrade, penalize the visibility of the entirety of your website, or penalize your ranking, etc. One thing I wanted for you to appreciate in regard with that is, and I will share my screen now, is that in fact APO Group has such a good status with Google when it comes to its content, that we are, and that's quite not unique, but it's quite rare actually. We have such a good reputation, if you wish, with Google, that APO Group, which is not a media, APO Group is a press release distribution service. APO Group feed is actually referenced by Google News. So as you know, Google News, you can see we are on Google News now. Hopefully you can see my screen. As you know, Google News is a tool which belongs to Google, and which is listing media which are deemed authoritative, relevant, etc., etc. And our content is considered, or we are considered so interesting. Our content is considered so interesting, so valuable, that we actually listed as one of the sources on Google News. And so our content our feed is available on Google News. And that is something you may take for granted, but it's not. I guarantee you. Not all the press release distribution service have that statute with Google News. In fact, Google overall has a tendency to consider that press release distribution is rubbish, because again, it's duplicated content, etc., etc. Now, the reason why we managed to get that status is because, as I mentioned, if you have $300, and you just invented a new way to cut cheese, you can go to PR Newswire and distribute a press release about that. And so if you look at the feed of PR Newswire, like the press release which they are distributing, they are rubbish press releases about all sorts of weird stuff. I mean, the journalists do not care. And so they are not an authoritative source. The media are not relying on their content. When you look at APO Group feed, well, we are distributing press releases for prestigious sources. I refer to African Development Bank, I refer to Islamic Development Bank, European Investment Bank, International Criminal Court, but also TikTok, but also Canon, but also Nestle, etc., etc., etc. And for most of that content, we are what is referred to as a primary information provider, meaning if you are a journalist, we are the only source you will ever get, the only chance you will ever get to access those press releases. If you if you when we receive press release from TikTok, if you don't get the press release from APO Group, you don't have it. We are the only source for you as a journalist for those press releases. And this is why regularly, very regularly, we have journalists subscribing to African Newsroom to receive our content. I would like to remind you, by the way, that our content is also considered so valuable that it is hosted on very prestigious platforms like Bloomberg Terminal, Thomson Reuters Aecon, which is Thomson Terminal. I'll tell you what this is, but also LexisNexis, Dow Jones Factiva. So Thomson Reuters Terminal, Bloomberg Terminal, Thomson Reuters Aecon. Those are those screens you see when you see on TV the stock exchanges. You see those screens with orange. All those people which have like 4 screens in front of them in a stock exchange, right? Okay, those are terminals. Those are data provided by Bloomberg and by Reuters. Okay, so our content is made available to all the stock exchanges across the world. In fact, Bloomberg is paying us to host our content on their platform and to give access to our content to their subscribers. Okay, so I will go back to what we were discussing. There is one thing I would like you to consider. I mentioned very big names which are using APO Group press release distribution service. I mentioned TikTok. I mentioned Coca-Cola. I mentioned DHL, Nestle. So many big brands, Marriott, Radisson, etc. Let's not forget that most of those big brands are headquartered in the US or in the UK or outside of Africa. Obviously, they are multinational organizations, and in fact, most of them have agreements at headquarter level with one of those global press release distribution service. So Business Wire, Nestle will have an agreement with Business Wire. Coca-Cola will have an agreement with PR Newswire, etc., for the global distribution of their press releases. But when it is come to Africa, guess what? They are using APO Group. And so what I'm saying here is not just a statement or wishful thinking. I've been there and I've seen that happening. Back in 2012, 13, 14, I've seen emails of head of communication instructing their responsible of communication Africa, etc., to say, listen, we have an agreement with at global level to distribute a press release with Business Wire or with PR Newswire, but when it's come to Africa, please use APO Group because we developed a unique ability to distribute press releases in Africa, and so. And right now, no companies, including those global players, has the reach or the depth of the reach we are having on the continent. So let's also tell you that if all those multinational companies choose to use our services, maybe we are good at something. Now I want to show you something. I'm going to share my screen again. As you all know, the press release distribution industry is built or structured in a way that, or the service, let's say, not the industry, that when you distribute a press release, then you receive a document after you distribute your press release, which is called, at APO, we called it media monitoring report, but some other players are calling him a visibility report, or so it's a document which is aimed at showing you the reach of your press release, so showing you where the press release has been distributed, which media published it, etc. So it's here to show you basically your return on investment. So you paid us to distribute your press release. Okay, here is where your press release has been published, etc. So that's a constant for all press release distribution services. You pay to distribute your press release, and then you receive visibility report or media monitoring report or whatever. So here I'm going to show you the monitoring reports, which are, I'm going to try to make it bigger, yeah, which are sent to their clients by the leading press distribution service globally in the world. We are talking about companies which are making like hundreds of millions globally in press release distribution. I mean, we are talking about corporations which are way bigger than we are. We are talking about the global players in the industry. They have activities in North America, Latin America, Europe, Asia, etc., etc. They are the, as I said, the Rolls-Royce and Ferrari, etc., of the press release distribution business. So here we're going to start with a monitoring report from Business Wire, which is, as I said, as we speak, the largest, the leader, the global leader in press release distribution service. And what I want you to look at are the structure of the media monitoring report, the data it contains, and also the design. So structure, data, and design. So here we have press release have been distributed. And so we know that we have 2,846 total views and 164 clicks. So it is not specified, but obviously we are talking about the views on Business Wire platform, on Business Wire website, and the click on Business Wire website only. Here we have the evolution of the number of views on Business Wire website. So we are not talking about all the websites which may have published a story or whatever. We're talking only about what happened on Business Wire website, so their own website. Here you have the evolution. So sorry, I will come back to that. So you have the first evolution of the number of views for during the first 24 hours. Here you have the evolution for the first 30 days. So we can see that on the 6th of October, we had 1,200 views plus. The day after, we had almost the same, and then we drop down, and etc., etc. And that's in red, you have the total. Here you have all time, so whatever that means, but it's you know, the number of views on I don't know, a year or so. So again, we are only, just to be clear, we are only here looking at the number of views on Business Wire website. So they posted that press release on their website, and they are giving you the metrics of the number of views of the specific press release on their website. And they're giving you after 24 hours, after a month, after a year, whatever. So here you have, they mentioned to you, they tell you that they posted that press release on their Twitter. It's a French, by the way, language press release, that one, but the structure, etc., will be the exact same for in English. So they tell you that they posted that press release on Twitter. They show you the link. They tell you that they have 842 followers on Twitter. And they tell you how many times the links have been clicked. I don't think it's Twitter. I think it's on their platform. So those are two different information. Here, it is only to tell you that they posted on Twitter, and they have 842 followers on Twitter. And here they are telling you that they are monitoring the number of clicks of the links on their website, and that's the number of so the press release. That press release contain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever number of links, and they are telling you how many times those links have been clicked on their platform, so on their website. Here you have, well, you may think I made a mistake and I came back to the page 1, but it's the same data and it's the page 6. So they are repeating the same data, which is that you have 2,846 total view. Again, it is on their website. Here you have release view first, etc. So it's actually the exact same data we saw earlier, but displayed differently. They added the Dutch version, so they have a Dutch version of that press release. I'm not sure why it appears on that report, which is a French one or whatever. But anyway, if we focus on the French version, that data we already had. It is the performance of the press release, the number of views during the 24 hours. It's the data we had on page 2 or 3 or something like that. Here, we have the exact same data again. We have up front, if you on the first pages, if you look at this, it's a graph we actually already have, right? If you focus on the only difference is that they added the Netherlands, so the Dutch version, but that graph, if you focus on the red part, so the performance of the French, we already have that data earlier, which is the data per hours during the first 24 hours. Here, well, you have the exact same thing. So if you were to delete everything blue, you will find that you have the exact same data that you had in the previous pages, page 3, 4, something like that, which is again the performance of that press release during the first 30 days on their platform, so on BusinessWire website. Here you have the exact same data for all time. We have seen that also. Okay, here you have the traffic source by type, and so that's direct versus referral. So direct refer to the people which browse directly on BusinessWire website. So they were on BusinessWire website and then find the press release directly from BusinessWire website. Referral, well, I guess will include I don't know, Google or other websites, third-party website, etc. Here you have information about who are the actual referral by source, and so you can see that you can see the number of those, etc. And no surprise, there are not that many because again, it's only 8% of 2,000 something like this. And so here you can see that among the referral you have their own actually website, their own RSS feed. They have Google UK, Google.com, etc., and a few other stuff. Now you have the source for the source of traffic, if I understood properly. And by then you may have noticed that, by the way, even for me, which is quite knowledgeable about those things, I'm actually I have to think, I have to read to understand exactly what is presented to me. It's not that clear, not that obvious what I'm looking at. So here, for instance, what I think is that I'm looking at well, the source of the traffic actually. So we know that there was one link to the press release on BusinessWire. So on boursica.com, someone clicked on the link which took him to the press release on BusinessWire, because again, the only thing they can track, they can monitor are their own website. And so here you have those data. So here will be the direct traffic, I guess. But then you have a list of plenty of websites which actually people were browsing on, and from their website, they find the link which took them to the press release on BusinessWire website. And so you see the figures, 1, 2, so that one is their own website, so 500, 1, 5, 8, 2, 1, 2, 2. So Google, okay, Google UK 12, Google.com 14, okay. Here we have release view by destination. I'm afraid I'm not sure what that means. Release view by destinations. Okay, I will assume it's kind of the same data, like it's where the people are coming from, basically. I guess, somehow, I guess. Here we have release view by location. So that's where the people which browsed on those, sorry, where those people were based. So we have an issue with my computer. Okay, so where the people were based when they browsed on Business Wire website. So the countries, okay, so they had 23 people out of the 2,000 whatever people which actually browsed the page. 23 were based in Belgium and 66 in China, and etc. etc. Same for the Dutch version, and then you have the total. So it's where those people were based. So we can see, for instance, that the Netherlands version, the Dutch version, have been seen 329 times in the Dutch version in Netherlands, which makes sense. Then we have by state. Okay, so why not? So we have the Anhui state in China. We are happy to know that. Yeah, okay, so we have the regions of some countries, right? So by states, probably very useful. But why not? So we have a lot of those. We have like 6 pages of that thing by state. Here we find again the total number of 2,800, and then that's French and New Zealand. Here I'm in page 22. So here I have data about email subscribers and feed view, and feed will refer to RSS feed. So let's try to understand what they mean by subscribers, emails, and feed view. So we're going to scroll down. So my news headline impression. So I'm assuming subscriber emails. Yeah, I'm not sure what that means technically. I'm assuming it means they send that press release to 9,200 journalists, blogger, analyst, whatever. I'm assuming, but I'm not sure because the impression thing, I'm not sure. Email impression, I'm not entirely sure what that could mean technically. And press pass headline impression. Press pass is probably one of their service, and it's probably the RSS. So it's a number of impression, probably the headline of the press release received on RSS readers. And again, I want to highlight that I kind of know the technology of RSS. I mean, I know monitoring reports, but it's interesting to see that even I struggle to clearly understand what I'm looking at, what they're trying to tell me here. It's not clear that 9,000 is the number of people which receive the press release by email. It's not clear. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm not sure what that means, but I guess they sent email and also well, in fact, this is not RSS because we are under the email section, so it's not RSS. So I don't know what I don't know what this is. So feed view refer to the RSS. So we're going to move to that part. So here you have the RSS feeds, which are listed. Sorry, but if I dezoom, okay, so it's interesting. But okay, so it's a pie chart. So here I have all the RSS feeds, which are mostly their RSS feeds. So Business Wire, BW stands for Business Wire, Business Wire, etc. So it's mostly Business Wire RSS feed, and the gray one is a RSS feed for Business Wire for technology news. So there is no third-party RSS feeds. Again, they are only monitoring their own platform. Here you have the figures, and so that's where you learn that the French RSS feed has generated 671 impressions on that variety of RSS feed readers for a total of 1,460. Now we are moving to online and mobile posting. So I have figures. So they are reflecting to they are. I mean, what they are trying to tell me apparently here is that the press release has been posted on 10 websites and receive 6.5 million unique visitors. So here we're going to see if it is a potential reach or an actual reach. Are they saying to me? Are they saying to me, okay, your press release has been posted on Yahoo, and Yahoo receive an average of Yahoo as a website receive an average of I don't know 3 million visitors per month. And so I'm not telling you how much your press release receive actual number of visitors. I'm telling you how many visitors that website receive. Okay, so we see what they are trying to tell me. So logo views. So we are on online posting, and apparently here are the list of what they are telling me are the 10 websites which publish my press release. And for each website, they are giving me the number of unique visitors per month, which are not giving me any indication on well, I had previously the number of views, let's say, on those websites, etc. So I actually have that information a little bit earlier. But as you can see, we are talking about websites which are receiving very low number of unique visitors per month, 1,000, 2,000, 24,000, 10,000. I mean, nothing to really brag about. And the number is 10. It's surprisingly low. Also, notice that there is no description. I don't know who they are. I don't know which countries they are based. I don't know nothing. I just have the logo. If I click, it will take me to the press release. I will not do it now, but because we will not learn anything specific. But yeah, I just have a logo and I have no description on the website. Mobile posting. So I will read the text here because again I will struggle to understand what that means technically and technologically. So this is a sampling of mobile platform, application, and website to which press releases are sent. A link on a name goes to go to either that mobile website or to information or to access that destination on your mobile device. Each link open in a new window. So here it is not per se monitoring at all. It is just telling me that okay, we sent your press release to those platforms. It's not at all telling me they publish it or whatever. It's just telling me, okay, well, by the way, we send it to those guys. So it's not per se monitoring. It's a declaration that, oh, well, you know, you paid us to distribute a press release. Here is your visibility or monitoring report, which is supposed to show you your return on investment. Well, we're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 pages to tell you all the people we send it to. No guarantee they publish it, no guarantee they've seen it, no guarantee whatsoever on anything. Oh, and by the way, we're going to call it mobile because, well, that's include mobile website, iPhone, Android app, tablet, etc. Whatever that means, by the way, whatever that means. But we send it to those guys. And there is 3, 4 pages of that. Yeah, so I leave it to you to assess the value of that. We are now on page 35. I also leave it to you to consider what you have learned about the return on investment after 35 pages. So page 35 is telling me nothing. No, sorry, it's multimedia. Okay, so I'm in the multimedia section now. So did you know that adding, okay, so okay, so I have nothing in the multimedia section. So maybe because that specific press release did not contain multimedia. So that may be the reason why there is no data here. Now I'm moving to user engagement and what they refer to, what they're referring to by this is link clicks. So apparently I received 164 click links. It seems to me that we saw that data earlier, if I'm not mistaken, but yes, I'm pretty sure we saw that data earlier. So it's a reiteration of the same data we saw earlier about the number of clicks. We saw that in the very first 5 pages or whatever. So okay, and that again. So it's a number of times the links which are contained in the press release have been clicked. And again, we are only talking about on BusinessWire website. So it's like if we were monitoring only the data provided by Africa Newsroom, if you wish, because they are only able to monitor the data provided by Africa Newsroom, by BusinessWire, by their website. We move to a section called Report History. We are on page 39. So Report History. Okay, so that's very interesting data. I didn't know that. So it's telling me that the press release has been distributed 6 days ago. That data I already have. So I'm not learning anything here, except the fact that apparently that press release have received no shares from BusinessWire website. No one used share function, and apparently there were no multimedia content. But the only thing I'm learning here is that the press release has been distributed 6 days ago, which I would know if I'm the issuer, and that there is no shares. But that data I already had. And it's finally done. So I'm finally done. So I went through 40 pages of monitoring report here. So that was the monitoring report of the Rolls Royce of press release distribution globally, that companies making hundreds of millions out of press release distribution. We're going to move now to PR Newswire. Here, disclaimer, the monitoring report I'm going to show you, I wasn't able to find a recent monitoring report. So that monitoring report is from 2020. They may have done changes recently. Not that I'm aware. I mean, I'm monitoring those guys for years. I know how they think. I really don't think they would have done something crazy. So full disclaimer: it's a 4 years old monitoring report. I'm sure that you could access that report on their website with iCookie things, etc., etc. So disregard the design. I'm not showing you the design on that one. Those are mostly like raw data, but look at the data which are contained. So again, the structure is what they do, and the data is what they do. So disregard the design. And they may have changed a couple of things in the recent years, but I guarantee you, even if they change anything, it won't be a revolution. They are not into revolutions. So here we are on an English-speaking press release. I'm going to zoom in. So pickup, where did my press release pick up? So I received 148 total pickup, and somehow the total potential audience is 117 million as total potential audience. Okay, fine. Traffic. What traffic did my release generate? So again, here we are talking about the traffic on PR Newswire website, on their own website, because that's the only thing they're able to monitor. And so on that website, on my website, on PR Newswire website, the press release received 2,728 views. Release web crawler X. I'm sorry, I'm not sure what that means. Bas, if you have a clue on this, what they refer. I have an idea what is a web crawler, but release web crawler X, I'm not entirely sure. It's a number of times the page has been indexed by Google web crawler, I guess.
I'm assuming the same thing.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not necessarily it is not necessarily a very relevant information in the sense that what is relevant is this, right? I mean, anyway, fine. They're happy for them to. Sure. Audience. Who are the audience viewing my release? So there are 57. We have 57 media which view, or people belonging to a media which view my press release. 9 people belonging to an organization. 1,600 targeted influencers, whatever that means, because I'm not sure we are in the social media influencer thing here, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure who is behind that. But clearly they are not journalists, because journalists are here, apparently. And we are still, and press releases are still aimed at journalists. So, and then we have 45 Associated Press outlets because they have a partnership with Associated Press. I mean, more specifically, they are paying Associated Press. So in fact, if I'm not considering what they are paying for, so they are paying Associated Press to be on their website, if I consider that these people are not journalists, because if they were journalists, they would be in that section. If I consider that those organizations are not media organizations, because if they were, they would be in that section, well, then the only number of journalists which actually view my press release are 57. That's my understanding. I mean, press distribution is still media relation. Right? Still, your intent is to make the press release available to the media so they can publish a story, etc., etc. Yeah. So, of course, I would love to have clarity on what is behind targeted influencers, but that's another story. Now, how are people engaging with my press release? So apparently there have been 61 total engagement, which apparently are clicks. So when what they call engagement is only clicks, apparently, because you have clicks here. So it's the same figure. So I'm guessing it's the same thing. Total pickup, as we know, they already mentioned that, is 148. Exact match will be duplicated content. So there have been 148 copy-paste duplicated content posting of that press release. Interesting to notice that they consider a Twitter post as a pickup, but fine, why not? And then total potential audience, they consider that the cumulated audience. So it's not the number of people which view the press release. It's a cumulated audience of those 147 websites, I guess. Yes, websites which publish that press release is 117 million. And that Twitter account which published the tweet, which published the tweet, had 258 followers. So here you have the total pickup over time. So it's something we are very familiar with. It gives you the number of views per day. Then we have the total pickup by source type. And so that's give you the type of media. And so you know that out of the total 43 newspapers have published a story, 35 TVs, 29 online, etc. So on the newspapers, I'm sure about one thing, and I'm obviously that's not the data we're going to find here, but I'm sure they are not monitoring actual newspapers, like actual newspapers. So I'm sure they are referring to websites of newspapers. So they are saying, so basically what they will say is that they will say, if the story is published, and by the way, so here is a trick or crook stuff. On one hand, they're telling you that they have 147 and they are exact match, which is duplicated content, which is copy paste of the thing. On another hand, they are telling you 43 newspapers have published the thing. I guarantee you, it doesn't work that way. I mean, newspapers do not publish copy paste of press release. They don't do it. So what that means is that what they are telling you is that We have an agreement with, for instance, the New York Times, which we are paying to post our duplicated content. But since the New York Times is also a newspaper, we'll list them as newspaper, and we will pretend or lie to you, in fact, to tell you that, okay, your press release has been published, copy-paste verbatim, in a newspaper, which is not the case. I mean, of that, I'm betting my two hands. But anyway, why not? So total pickup per industry would be the industry of the media, right? But that's not very clear because I can understand financial media, but media and information as an industry of media, I'll leave it to you to struggle with that. And then I have exact match pickup. So again, that's duplicated content, right? And they, as we see, they are considering online and social media alike. So again, we have that same figure, 147, and we have that same figure, 117 million in audience. And here we have the actual websites. So we're going to have the 147 websites which actually published the story. And so we have, for each website, we have a few information. We have the logo, we have the name. We can click to actually see the press release. We have the location of the website, or location or audience, I don't know. Audience, I guess, in fact, really global, United States, it's more than location. But anyway, we have the source type, like the type of media, yes, type of media, so broadcast media, etc., etc. We have the industry covered by that media, and then we have the potential audience, and that's the first time I think they are honest with that, and they were honest here by referring to the potential audience. So it's again, they are not talking about the number of people which actually see your press release. They are telling you, we put your press release on Yahoo. Yahoo receives 8 million visitors a month. So because we put your press release on a website which is 8 million visitors a month, then your potential audience is 8 million. Okay, so fine. I mean, it's only potential, right? So you have the information for all those 140 whatever website. Here, I want you to notice something. It is the fact that you're going to have a huge series of US-based TVs, which are tagged and easy to identify them. They all have like acronym, double YCU TV, blah, 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 whatever, etc. United States and broadcast media. I'll tell you a little bit more about that. So as you can see, we have a lot of those. Then we have very random website on a lot of different topics. Here we are back to a few TVs and stuff. New Channel, Nebraska, Suncoast Network, whatever. So we have a lot of broadcast media. So websites of actual TV stations across the United States. So I'm continuing to scrolling down. By the way, please note the number of visitors a day. I'm scrolling up now. I didn't realize, but in fact, the ranking is made by number of visitors. So as much as I'm scrolling down, the number of decrease, and I didn't realize they are classifying like this. But you can see those are like very random websites. With as less as 1,000 viewers, whatever. So one thing you don't know, but which I know because been there, done that, is that most of those websites, PR actually pay them to publish the content. And I would like to pause for 1 second on this because it's actually quite important. So you see, PR Newswire is having agreement with Associated Press, and so they will tell you, we put your press release on. If you use a service, you're gonna have your press release on Associated Press. Just like we will tell you, if you distribute your press release APO, you're gonna have your press release on on Bloomberg Terminal. We'll tell you that. We'll have your press release on Thomson Reuters Second, on Dow Jones Factiva, on LexisNexis. So we also tell that to our clients, and we also tell them we're going to have your press release on 320 websites. The difference is at APO we are not paying 1 cent, not 1 cent, for any platform to host our content. In fact, those are the platforms which are paying us. Bloomberg is paying us. LexisNexis is paying us. Dow Jones Factiva is paying us. So what you need to understand about that industry is that industry managed to commoditize itself by distributing shitty content at low price. And now they have no choice than to actually pay random network of small websites to publish their content, because they have shitty content. Now, our content is considered so valuable by the media that if you go to CNBC Africa website, they have only 2 third-party content on CNBC Africa website. One is Reuters, the other one is APO Group. And we have, as we speak, 320 websites which host our content for free. We don't give them 1 cent. And again, Bloomberg is paying us to have our content. So their model is completely different. They have to give money to Associated Press. They have to give money to those websites. So, for instance, the TVs here, the way it works is that there is a company which is called Frankly, and that company specializes into designing, building websites for TV stations in the US. And as a side business, when they sell a website to a TV station in the US, say, oh, by the way, it would be good for you to have additional content on your website. How would you like to have a feed of press releases on your website? And so they go to PR Newswire and say, okay, well, how much would you pay us? Us, not the TV. Huh? How much would you pay us to have your content on that website? That's how it works. So my point is, PR Newswire. I mean, from my view, keep in mind, I'm a founder. From my point of view, it is so fucked up that they don't own their own network. They have to pay people to publish their content. We never paid a website or whatever to publish our content. By the way, it will kill our business model completely. Completely. I mean, imagine we have 320 partners. Imagine we have to, we send what, €2 for each press release. We do that by Western Union each day. It's going to cost us €5 of cost. I mean, it's going to kill the thing. And by the way, if one website learns that we are paying to publish one press release, the game is over. The entire business model is failing. So let's go down. So again, we have the list of all those links, etc., and we have those data, etc. Sure. I don't know if you noticed. I mean, it could be interesting for you to notice that, but they are really random. I mean, some websites are. I mean, the geography is random, the topics, the industry are random, etc., etc. Anyway, so I'll scroll down and pass on the list of 140 whatever which publish the thing. Now I'm reaching a page called traffic. It is I think it's a total. So that figure is the number of views of the press release on PR Newswire website. That is the number of times the multimedia, I guess, has been viewed. I'm assuming there was a picture and it has been viewed 57 times. That thing is, well, public view is the same thing apparently as this. So it's just a repeat. Partner site under 10. I don't know. I'm guessing it's the number of views on partners' website they monitor. But I'm hoping for them. It's not them. I'm just hoping for them. But I may be wrong. It's probably, in fact, if I'm just rational and logical, it's probably the number of views on all those websites. So they had, I mean, I mean, I'm guessing that's the only, I mean, those are the partners. So those are the actual partners, and they said partner site 110 views. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know how to read that information differently than that. So I'm assuming here that we're telling me that the press release was published on 146 websites, and it generated 110 views. I guess. And then PR Newswire channel 2.6. I don't know. It's slightly different from the total number. I don't know. And again, I will take you back also again to that idea that even me, I'm struggling to understand what I'm looking at. I'm actually struggling to understand what are the data which are in front of me. Release web crawler, it's an information we have on the top, and we believe that it's a number of time the website PR Newswire, or probably that specific page, that specific press release, has been indexed, if you wish, by web crawlers, by Google, etc., etc. But I mean, Google can crawl the same page 500 times. It doesn't change anything. Just to be clear, it has to be called one time. You know, it's just so that data is like, in fact, it's I mean, it's completely irrelevant. I mean, it's not even, well, it's irrelevant, in fact. I mean, a data which would be relevant would be to say that that page have been indexed by Google, but also by the other search engine out there. Okay, that maybe would be relevant, maybe. So release view over time, it is okay. So it is per days and it is per channels or whatever. Okay, sure. So it's the same always. If we do the addition of all those figures, we're going to go back to the 2,700 whatever, I guess. Media view on PR Newswire for journalists, which is a specific service of PR Newswire. So what that means is here we're talking about people which have to log on. So people have to log on. So journalists have to log in to PR Newswire for journalists as a service to have access. So that means that there are people which saw the press release on the normal, if you wish, website of PR Newswire, and then there are people which are PR Newswire for journalist service subscriber, and here is the top 10 of those of the organization those people belong to, if I understood properly. So we have one guy which logged on from SIPA USA, whatever this is, national news, and those are PR Newswire, and those are PR Newswire. So I mean, and it's 111. I mean, anyway. Here we are. Okay, so yes, so that's what I was saying. Apparently, the figures they gave us a little bit earlier is actually the number of views on the partners' websites. So that press release received 10 views on Benzinga, which is one of the partners, 7 views on TMC Net, which was on Precision, or etc., etc. So it's quite low numbers. Traffic to PR Newswire properties. Well, this is the same thing. It is still the same thing. So it's basically traffic on PR Newswire website, and so the figure is the same. They are just stating that some people reach through the desktop website. Some people reach to the website via mobile or via tablet. But I mean, yeah, sure. External traffic source. Yeah, I'm not even sure what that means, to be honest. Bas, if you have an idea, please help. But the figure is the same. So we're still about the traffic, or we're still about the number of times that specific press release has been viewed on PR Newswire website. And guess what? No, okay. So the audience, now we are moving to the audience. So view from identify audience. Okay, so we are on the so media, so those are information we already have. That's media view and organization view, and then Associated Press views or platform or whatever this was, and targeted. So that data we already had. They already show that to us. Audience summary, breakdown of industry covered by, okay. So it's a breakdown per type of media here. So here's type of media, newspaper, blogger, etc. It's a data we already have, which is just displayed differently. And I told you what I think about the newspaper, reference to the newspapers. We also have the countries here. I mean, I think all those data are data we already had, actually. Yes, even that technology, I remember. So those are data we already had earlier. It's just displayed differently. Those are data we already had earlier, which is displayed differently, the country thing, whatever. I mean, we don't have the exact accurate figure, we just have the colors, but those data were already there. You know, we had the regions and stuff, etc. So all those data we actually have. Media view. So as I said, I assume they are referring to some type of multimedia content which were associated to the press release or a picture or something. So the total of 57, we already saw that thing. But here they are telling us who actually view it. But I think it's data we had also a little bit earlier, but not that comprehensive. We didn't have all that list. So they're telling us how many views receive the multimedia content, which is 57. It's data we already have, but they're telling us also who view it how many times. And we can see that there are 57, but they're not 57 here. But anyway, because there are not 57 lines here. But anyway, fine. Okay. I'm pretty sure there are not 57. Okay, because it's continued. Sorry. So you do have 57. So you can see there are 57, whatever, which viewed one time, whatever. And technically, Bas, I'm speaking under your control, but when you have such a pattern, when you have one everywhere, etc., I'm sure it's not human. It's like it's triggered by some of software which is scrolling something, whatever. I mean, dead sure about that. So it's not even accurate, that thing, I'm sure. It's generated automatically by some caller, RSS feed, whatever, somewhere. But anyway, you have like a 5 page of that, because why not? Then we have organization view. Okay, so it'll be the same thing. So they're telling you which organization, etc., etc. Then we finally have information about who may be those influencers, people. So small businesses, 328 organizations, 386 recipients. Okay. So apparently it has been. So again, it's targeted. So it doesn't say. So again, we are not into monitoring here. It's not telling you it has been published by Bloomberg. It's telling you we send it to Bloomberg. Yeah? It's different, right? So it has been sent to 13 people at Bloomberg, apparently, 5 people at Gartner, etc., etc. 3 people at Bloomberg Business Week. So it's just telling you we send it to 3 people at Fox Business Network, for instance. So it's not properly media monitoring. So it's a lot of potential reach, and it's a lot of we send it to those guys, but not a lot of okay. Here's where you can see who published your press release. Tourism organization, okay, same stuff. So I'm guessing that press release was related to tourism. So again, it's telling you who they send it to. They send it to 557 recipients belonging to 425 different organizations, including those. It's here, it's the same thing. So tourism, travel, etc. Now we have the Associated Press, which, as I mentioned, they are paying. So I don't know exactly how this works here. I'm guessing this is Associated Press and Associated Press Network, meaning Associated Press is on New York Times, and so through Associated Press, PR Newswire content is on the New York Times. I'm guessing, and they call that custom news line. By the way, if one day you have time to waste, I suggest you go on New York Times and you try to find that actual feed, that actual news. You may see that it's very well. I mean, it's quite difficult to access it, let's say. Then engagement, we have total engagement action. So, okay, so what they call, as we saw earlier, because again, that data was displayed earlier, what they refer to as engagement is actually clicks. And so here they're giving you the number of clicks which they tracked, monitored on their website, the number of clicks which were contained in the press release. Oh, sorry. So here, okay, so here you have 61 engagement and you have 61 click, but here they are saying that it's also includes shares and downloads. So do the math. Well, okay, I understand now. I understand. So clicks are people clicking on a link, but to share, you also click, and to download, you also click. Yes, so it's a click. So a share is a click, and a download is a click. So that's how it explains stuff. Engagement detail. So that will be the number of time. Okay, so that's okay. So we know we have a total of 61. Well, here you know that that specific link has been clicked 39 times, and that specific one has been clicked 22 times. The difference is the S here. Okay, so it's a detail on what has been clicked, etc. And we are done. We just review the monitoring report of the two largest press release distribution service in the world. Next, we have a monitoring report, which again, I'm sorry, we don't have more recent. It's Meltwater. It's 2020, so they may have done things differently in the recent years. But unfortunately, that's the only one we have. So it gives you still, I think, a good indication. So you have media exposure. I'm not sure what that means. I guess it's again the number. I mean, I don't know what that means. It could mean a lot of different things. You have share of voice compared to what? I don't know. So I don't know. Is it okay? So my understanding is that a specific press release, which is monitored by that report, was issued in English and in French, and the share of voice is a ratio between the number of views the English version received versus the French version. I think that's what it is. That's what they refer to as share of voice, which is anyway. I won't even comment. So top social echo. So it's a press release that have been issued. It's APO in 2022, which used Meltwater to distribute a press release. I think we did that actually to have a report and to see, because we want to study the reports all the time of the other players in the industry. So here we have the number of posts on social media, and you have the reach, so the number of followers on those social media. Here you have potential reach of what, I don't know. Is it I don't know. Is it social? Is it the potential of social media? I don't know. And what is weird is that the potential reach is evolving. So because the potential reach is a potential reach, right? So the fact that the potential reach is changing each day, I'm sorry guys, but I just don't. Okay, potential reach widget provide insight into the number of potential viewers that have been exposed. So let me. The widget provide insight into the number of potential viewers that have been exposed to a set of media coverage. For me that is gibberish. I mean, Bas, if you want to help, want to translate, let me know, no problem. But I'm struggling. Top locations, okay, so those are the where the people which view the website are based. Okay, sure, I'm in the top. Top sources. So So yes, so this is where they find the press release. So luckily for us, they find it on Dow Jones Factiva on our feed, I'm sure. And then they find it on other websites like CNBC Africa, for instance. Then it's the same data, but as a map. And it's over. It was a 9-page monitoring report from Meltwater. Now I'm going to show you the last monitoring report we have, which is from EQS. EQS is the service we are using to distribute the press release of our clients globally and through a business wire, etc. And that when we distribute a press release, that's what we are receiving. So that is a media monitoring report from EQS. That's how EQS understand media monitoring report. So you have the name of the media, you have the link to your press release, you have the language, and you have the reach, which is again potential reach. It should say potential reach. And you have 51 for that specific press release, which was I don't know what was the target, but I mean at least you have the format, let's say. So it's an Excel, and that's it. That's what you receive. Now, if you are not already asleep, which I would understand, I will show you the same thing, but at APO Group. I will show you the media monitoring report at APO Group. I'm showing you the exact same thing, right? People distribute a press release, we're sending them a media monitoring report. Okay. So we'll pass on the design because, as I mentioned, what I show you, I'm not sure it's, the structure is there, but on the design, I'm not entirely sure. So here you have a table of content, press release metrics, email statistic, online reach, international partners, multimedia, print clippings, social media, statistic from African Newsroom about APO. You have text, I will zoom, you have text PR value, multimedia PR value, total PR value. And here you explain at the bottom, sorry, here maybe, yes, what we mean by that. And so we put a value on your editorials, on the text, but also on the multimedia content. Sorry, I'm going back to the thing. So here you learn, so it's a press release from Afreximbank. You learn that your press release was picked up by 450 websites. By the way, the monitoring report I showed, I will show you our monitoring report. I asked Puksha to send me monitoring report, which had been very successful. So you can see the full extent of what we're able to do, and I will explain why it's important. So that specific press release from Afreximbank received 456 websites pickup. It is important because that press release, I will check because I don't want to tell you something wrong. Wait 1 minute. Sorry about that. I want to be sure. Yes, so it is important because you see that press release has been distributed only in English. And I will give you a figure. The number of our duplicated content at APO Group, the number of widget and RSS, the number of duplicated content is around 320. And so if you do the math, what that means is that that press release received 130 plus earned media. Meaning when a business wire, PRD wire, etc., are only or at 99% relying on duplicated content, so the ability to copy-paste the same text on a website, I can already tell you that that press release have received more than 130 earned media, meaning there are 130 journalists which actually received the press release and decided to publish it on their media. Some of them copy-paste, some of them creating an article out of it, to changing the headline, changing the text, etc., etc. Okay, so here that's proof that our system do not rely mostly at 100% or whatever on duplicated content. So here you have information about press agency. We publish your press release. You have information about the most influential media that pick up your press release, so CNBC Africa, etc., and their circulation. You have the name and the country of the newspapers which publish your press release. And here I'm talking about actual newspaper because we are monitoring newspapers. By the way, you're going to see the clippings of those newspapers. You have information about the TV channel and YouTube channel which publish your press release, and you're going to see the link after. You have information that your press release has been published on Bloomberg Terminal, Dow Jones Factiva, LexisNexis, etc. And we're going to actually show you. We're not going just to tell you. We're going to show you the screenshot of your press release on Bloomberg Terminal. We are telling you that your logo has been published 325 times on the internet. That your release and the associated multimedia content, including logo, picture, and video, generated 141,000 impressions on African Newsroom, our website. That your release had been viewed 960 times on African Newsroom, so the have been open, like actually viewed, not only the headline, have been open on African Newsroom. That the press release and the associated multimedia content, logo, picture, and video generated 130,000 impressions on our partners' websites. And here we're talking about the headline. So they then have viewed 130 times on our partner website, impression. Your release and the associated press media content, logo, picture generated 10,000 views on our RSS server and readers. Your release generated 406 impressions on Google web search, meaning that people searching on Google saw your headline 406 times. You really generated 50 impressions on Google image search. So it was distributed with a picture, and people looking for a picture on Google search saw your picture 50 times. The link included in your press release, the links, all of them have been clicked 1 time. Your news have generated 11 posts on Facebook and 4 posts on LinkedIn. The posting of your press release on a peer group social media, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, have generated 3 clicks, and we are talking about links here. APO Group press, and we're giving you information that APO Group is a reference source by Google News, and we have the link where you can see the feed. And so that means that people can see it. We are telling you that, for instance, your press release has been published through the 14 website of Zim Papers Group. We are telling you that it has been published through the largest media group in Ghana. It's just as information. And then we're telling you that African Newsroom we're telling you the information that African Newsroom is referenced by Google Discover. Google Discover is that app people have on their mobile, and that AfricanNewsroom.com releases have received 410K search impression in the last 6 months on Bing. That your capitalized website URL is posted on a minimum of 324 websites, which is good for your SEO. And then press release have been delivered by email to the mailbox of 1,700 journalists, including journalists and media at Thomson Reuters and Bloomberg. That specific monitoring report is a little bit old. It's several months old. So things have changed since we launched that. Here we're explaining exactly how this works. Then we have the list of the number of email we have sent, and and the list of the most important media we send it to, and the number of emails in those number of people in those media. And then you move to the online region. So as mentioned, that press release has been picked up online by 456 websites. When it's come to press agencies, we provide you the verbatim of the article. For each media, you will always have the logo and the description. So for news agencies, we always copy paste verbatim, and then you're entering the online section. And so you have the link, the logo. If they publish your logo, your picture, your video, etc. So we give you the information about the multimedia content they publish or no. You have a description. Obviously, you have the link. The description usually includes the country and the circulation, so the viewership. I'm going to scroll down for the sake of time, but as you know, we have plenty. I mean, if we go if we have a look at which media we are talking about, we have Joy Online is one of the most influential media in Ghana. Africa.com is a very reputable website. Business Day is one of the largest business publication in Nigeria. Market Screener is a big business publication. The Guardian is one of the 5, probably speaking under control of our colleague in Nigeria, but one of the top 5 newspapers in Nigeria. The Wheel is also quite important as far as I know, but I may be wrong. The Independent. I mean, anyway, a whole lot of media. So those media, I mean, you don't see the New York Times here, etc., etc. The Vanguard is the largest newspaper, as far as I know, in terms of readership in Nigeria. But the cumulated audience of all of this is like completely crazy. It's like absolutely unmatchable. So I scroll down. So we are, as you see, you have like a lot of, well, you have 400 something, right? Okay, and here we are reaching the international partner section. So we don't just tell our clients, oh, you think I've been published on Bloomberg. No. We have colleagues in India which go on Bloomberg terminal and take a screenshot of the press release. Same for Dow Jones Factiva, same for LexisNexis, same for other partners, Syndicate, NewsAge, etc. So we are not just saying to the client, oh, by the way, we publish it on those platforms. We are sending them the screenshot, they can see it. Multimedia content, we are giving numbers, so we're tracking that. So your logo has been published on 320 websites, but if it was pictures or videos, we'll be also able to manage. The print monitoring, so we have a description of the newspapers, which country, etc. We have the logo, and we provide transcript of the actual article, so people can search, translate, whatever. So those are all the print thing. By the way, I'm not aware about any other press distribution service which is actually monitoring print, even as a paying option. So I'm scrolling down to the print thing. Sorry, a lot. Okay, so here it's not a verbatim, it's an actual print clipping, so it's a screenshot. Then we have social media. So we have all the links to all the posts on Facebook in relation of that press release and on LinkedIn. We have the YouTube, so we have the channel, the number of followers, description, and screenshot and the link. Here we have all the data of Africa Newsroom, which, by the way, you can click to access online. I'll do it very fast so you can see. So here we have your data online. So those are the data of the performance of press on Africa Newsroom specifically. And you have now, okay. So again, those reports are quite old because now we actually added data about the number of links which are clicked, etc., etc. So much more data than this. I understand we are running out of time. I'm afraid we're going to have to do that again because there are still a few things I need to mention to all of you. Okay. So thank you. I hope it wasn't too boring. I think it was a good start, let's say, to understand what the big players, the leading players in the industry are doing. And I think I already established, but I want to emphasize on this in the second session, which we shall reschedule, that we are different. We are very different. And we offer actually way more value. So I'm going to emphasize on this next time. So if you have questions, since we have another session, if you have questions, bring your questions. Okay? Thank you, everyone. Speak soon. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.